I say there's no such thing as alternative health. There's health or there's drugs and surgery. And it's just an alternative is a term that was used around the Carnegie and Rockefeller time and the Flexner Report to basically minimize other forms of approaches to medicine. And the term quackery came about. You mentioned, do people call me a quack? Sure, they might. This is a term that's been injected into the public eye shortly after the Carnegie and Rockefeller intervention and Rockefeller medicine, when they wanted to downplay every other form of medicine and raise the spotlight onto the doctors, or into the limelight of doctors who are basically learning Flexner-approved medication.
This is the Alden Report.
I'm super excited about our latest program. Look, we've been on television for close to 20 years, literally selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of products and services that have had a positive impact on people's lives. We've created millionaires. If you've ever watched television, you've most likely seen me on television, not dressed like this, but in a suit and in a tie. Listen, we've re-engineered the process. We're allowing people, a small group of people, whether you're an author, whether you're a business coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you have a program or a service that you feel as though that can have a positive impact on people's lives, and you want to up-level your game. You're tired of what's going on social media. You're tired of AI is not kicking in. You're tired of all the money that you spent and you're not seeing any return. You're tired of all these fraudsters out there that tell you they're going to put you in Huffington Post or USA Today or Forbes, and it's nothing just but a joke. You want to be in front of millions of people every single day all over the country. Folks, we've been doing it for 20 years. We've re-engineered the process. We've made it possible for the average everyday person to participate in this. If you want to up-level your game, if you truly want to build your profile, if you truly want to get in front of millions of people every single day, send me a direct message at Mike Alden. See it on the bottom of the screen. At Mike Alden, put TV in the message, and I will get back to you personally and see if you're a good fit for us. Again, send me a direct message at Mike Alden. Send me the message TV, and we'll see if you're a good fit.
This is the Alden Report.
All right, my name is Mike Alden. We are here in Blue Vase Studios, and first off, let me say, hold on a second. I'm not wearing my 99-cent glasses, but here they are. I got my 99-cent glasses, which I always like to wear, just because I just look cool in them, I think. Right? I think. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about health and wellness, which is a world that I've obviously been involved in most of my life. We're going to be talking about healing oneself. We're going to be talking about vitality and maybe even a little virility. I don't know. I was thinking about that as well. My next guest is Neil Cannon. He's a best-selling author, and he started off his journey with his own challenges, his own health challenges, and has really now taken that and taking his own challenges and the research that he's done and the books now that he's written and helping other people with things that a lot of people are scared about, and a lot of people might not think that there's hope, but there is in fact hope out there. There are alternatives that people talk about now, and I think a lot of Western medicine, may be considered that. But he's going to talk a lot about healing oneself and ultimately just living the life that you should live. Please help me welcome Neil Cannon. Neil, thanks so much for being here, brother.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Mike. It's an honor to be on your show. Can't wait for this conversation.
So I apologize again, right out of the gate. I think I said it.
No worries.
But I was late, and things just happen. But all right, so
I was able to use the time.
Good. And you're in Mexico right now, so I couldn't text you. Or I think I tried to, and I couldn't. But so you're British born, yes?
I am, yes. And I got to Mexico very serendipitously in May 2020. I was actually in LA for the best part of about 5 or 6 years, and then the pandemic hit. And I had the option to go to lockdown in London or the beach in Mexico. So I chose the beach in Mexico. It wasn't a difficult decision.
I like that idea. So it's probably a little bit warmer where you are than where I am right now. But so let's just jump right into how you got involved in this world of helping people with a lot of kind of things and ailments that are quite scary, and for a lot of people it's the end or they think it's over. Tell us about your journey and how you started to study this and realize that there are ways that we can truly help ourselves through some of the most basic things that I think a lot of people don't even understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Just quickly, there's workers who've just started banging. Is that okay, or should I put these earphones in?
I think they're good.
You didn't hear it? Okay, good.
I got guys talking in the background too. Can you hear my guys? I don't think so. Usually these microphones too, right? They usually just they usually only pick up like us talking. Very rarely will these microphones pick up unless the guy's knocking down a wall in your bedroom. But
sounds like he is.
Yeah, we're good.
So yeah, thank you for that question. I'll answer it. So as you're alluding to, most people who work in holistic health, in fact, I'd say everyone who works in holistic health comes with their own story of healing or recovery of something. And otherwise they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. So as you said, I did come with my own story. I did have pretty bad eczema for the best part of 30 years since a toddler. And I was always given the same kind of symptom masking treatments, which meant it would always come back. So those comprised steroid creams, which have left pigmentation on my skin. You might be able to see it, and various other places on my body. Prescription moisturizers, which contained really quite toxic ingredients, harmful ingredients, and also antibiotics when it got really bad, which you might know, if overprescribed, really harm the gut microbiome. I got to talk gut microbiome, which is the very organ you want to heal if you want to heal any kind of skin condition or any kind of chronic inflammatory health condition, for that matter. So those are the treatments that I received. And it wasn't until my father suffered a stroke that I had my so-called wake-up call, if you like. And it caused me to investigate the condition that he was diagnosed with a few years prior to his stroke. So around the time of his stroke, I remember thinking it was avoidable. I just had this kind of innate knowing, this innate intelligence was telling me that he did not have to suffer this stroke. And I remember his sister, who's a naturopathic doctor and has about 20 letters after her name, a few years prior to this saying, Tony, you've got chronic inflammation. And he told me this in the family home. He was making tea. And he said, I've got chronic inflammation. I don't know what that means. And I was just kind of beginning my time in holistic health at that point. And I just remembered that moment around the time he had the stroke, and it caused me to go on an investigation, if you like a research quest to figure out precisely what this thing was all about. And very quickly, I realized chronic inflammation was the underlying cause of his asthma. He'd had since 12, a fully reversible condition, hypertension, and which ultimately led to the stroke. And also the eczema I'd had from a very young age since being a toddler. So I basically went around a change in my lifestyle and eating habits and got rid of it very quickly. I can't say it's quote unquote cured because that suggests it will never come back. I just see eczema and almost every other chronic illness as symptomatic of something going on beneath the surface, which would need attention. So if my body were to ever get inflamed again, the eczema can come back and alert me. So that's my story in a nutshell. And since 2015, I've been helping people reverse all kinds of chronic inflammatory health conditions by applying very similar principles, which have grown and evolved over the last 7 or 8 years.
Eczema, I had it when I was a kid. It seems to be, it seems to be more and more prevalent of recent date. I know a lot of people whose children who have had it and struggled with it. It's an autoimmune disease, I believe, right? I remember when I had it on my hands, and my hands were all like, I looked like a leper. And for me, I just kind of grew out of it. So let's talk about you for a second. Some of the things that you did do for yourself to kind of, get yourself out of it, so to speak. Like you said, it's not necessarily quote cured. It's just not there anymore, in remission, whatever. I don't know what we call it, but what did you do? Because, I don't know if you know this as well, but my world is health and wellness. We've sold supplements, we've sold topicals, we've sold creams. In fact, we sold an eczema cream that was made from eggshells, which is interesting. But so yeah, tell us about what you did specifically for yourself, because I think a lot of people are suffering with this. And then also maybe when I think about psoriasis as well too, probably in the similar category.
Yes, psoriasis I'd say is a more severe autoimmune. I'll just start with what I did. I went and really studied anti-inflammatory nutrition first and foremost. And there are a number of books that I read which just really changed my whole perspective on what I was eating. Because I realized that every day I was starting my day with essentially a bowl of inflammation. I had breakfast cereal with cow's milk every single morning, which I found to be inflammatory very, very quickly. So what I did is I switched to an anti-inflammatory diet. And for the most part, that meant going gluten-free, dairy-free, reducing sugar, clean everything, eating as your grandmother used to eat, as we often say, and removing anything fake, anything GMO, anything fried, anything that's been man-altered. So the hybridized wheat grain in America, for example, is horrific for almost everyone. I just went clean. And I actually went paleo for quite some time, but I'm not paleo now. Paleo is, I'm sure you know, grain-free. But yeah, it cleaned up my diet ultimately, and that made a big difference. And I also moved to LA, and I was in the sun much more, and I was in the ocean much more, which is phenomenally powerful for the immune system. Sun is the ultimate, well, it's often spoken about as the ultimate nutrient. It enables the skin to create vitamin D, which is a very anti-inflammatory hormone.
I love how British guys and women say vitamin. Vitamin. We say vitamin.
Vitamin.
Same thing. Vitamin D, vitamin. No, I just love how you say it. I did some infomercials with a woman who was British, and Chloe was her name. She would just say vitamins. But anyway, good. So yeah, so vitamin D, yes.
I'm super excited about our latest program. Look, we've been on television for close to 20 years, literally selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of products and services that have had a positive impact on people's lives. We've created millionaires. If you've ever watched television, you've most likely seen me on television, not dressed like this, but in a suit and in a tie. Listen, we've re-engineered the process. We're allowing people, a small group of people, whether you're an author, whether you're a business coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you have a program or a service that you feel as though that can have a positive impact on people's lives, and you want to up-level your game. You know, you're tired of what's going on social media. You're tired of AI is not kicking in. You're tired of all the money that you're spent and you're not seeing any return. You're tired of all these fraudsters out there that tell you they're going to put you in Huffington Post or USA Today or Forbes, and it's nothing just but a joke. You want to be in front of millions of people every single day all over the country. Folks, we've been doing it for 20 years. We've re-engineered the process. We've made it possible for the average everyday person to participate in this. If you want to up-level your game, if you truly want to build your profile, if you truly want to get in front of millions of people every single day, send me a direct message at Mike Alden. See it on the bottom of the screen. At Mike Alden, put TV in the message, and I will get back to you personally and see if you're a good fit for us. Again, send me a direct message at Mike Alden. Send me the message, TV, and we'll see if you're a good fit.